Okay, I just wanted to make it clear that we're living in a very special society. Having lived for a good portion of my life outside of this country in the Middle East and have seen dictatorships and tyrannical regimes, and watching what's going on right now in the news, it's clear that we have to take a lesson about what's going on right now and how it applies to us. In Egypt, right now, there is a WROL situation. Every time you turn on the TV, you will see complete mayhem. You will see a society which is breaking apart, which is coming apart at its threads, and a society which doesn't have the Constitution backing it. This makes a great contrast and lesson to learn for us here in the United States. Here in the United States, it's very possible that sometime in the future we can also be presented with such a situation where there is a breakdown of society, and it's imperative upon us to take action now and prepare for this. Luckily, we do have a U.S. Constitution. We do have rights that we can demand. So I'm going to start with that. As a U.S. citizen living here in the United States, it is absolutely required for everyone, man, woman, and child, to have a copy of the U.S. Constitution and to read it. I suggest you carry a pocket one around with you. Definitely have one in your home. It's shameful how many citizens of this country have never bothered to even look at their own constitution and know what's in it and what rights they have. That's first of all. Secondly, within that constitution, we have a Second Amendment. If you look at what's going on right now in Egypt, in a WROL situation, people have reverted to having clubs, sticks, knives, whatever they can get from their household items in order to protect themselves, their families, their property. And they're up against a regime which has guns, police force which is totally corrupt, that has weapons. Imagine what a difference it would make if every citizen had a right to bear arms, and not only had the right, but took advantage of that right and had a gun to protect themselves, their families, and their possessions. I recommend, after you've read the U.S. Constitution, you go out and you get a CCW permit. I'm a big fan of the Utah and Florida non-resident permits, because those are ones that are good in almost 35 of the U.S. states. You can carry cross-border. This is essential for protecting yourself. This is not a theoretical document which was written hundreds of years ago and is not applicable today. It is more applicable today, I would say, than it's been in hundreds of years. This is a document that we rely on to keep our fabric of our society together. So again, just to summarize, we need to get together, we need to form groups, we need to learn our U.S. Constitution. We need to take advantage of at least the Second Amendment of that Constitution and bear arms. We need to have a gun in case there is a breakdown of society, that will be able to secure ourselves and our families and our property. Once we've done that, we obviously have to take the next step, which is preparing for a breakdown of society by preparing the food and the medicine and the water and the shelter and the security and everything else that goes along with that. But before we do anything, step number one, get a copy of the U.S. Constitution, read it, and get a gun. Thank you.